I'm an artist and nothing else. I don't want to be any. I didn't ask the universe for anything else. I didn't ask the Lord. I didn't ask no one for anything else. All I wanted to be is what I am now, and I'm so grateful and so thankful that I am an artist, and I am a photographer, videographer, a visual artist. I've got to share my work with the world, and now I just want to share my insight. I want to share my passion. I want to share motivation with the world. Not to take pictures, not to be fucking making films and doing all this shit. No, to do what you love to do. You know what I'm saying? To get your dreams out. Because your dreams are different than my dreams. And my dreams are different than yours, then different than hers and his, and everyone else that's outside. So it's like, this isn't specifically like, oh, let's watch a movie about Nicky. This is like, let's watch a movie to inspire us to be better.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Soho House in West Hollywood, California. I'm your host, Vito Glazers, and this is Vito Glazers After Dark. I am here in the studio with the world-famous Nicky Films. Nicky, how's it feel to be in Hollywood tonight?
Feels fucking great to be in Hollywood. I'm with Vito Glazers, the Vito Glazers, sipping on the fucking best tequila Soho House has, $60 a glass. I mean, fuck it, put it on Vito's black card, you know what I'm saying? It's a tax write-off purposes, you understand? This is a big business meeting, and you're welcome to our business meeting and understand what's going on here.
For those of you who are maybe not from Chicago or maybe not in the media world and you do not have the good fortune of knowing who this incredible artist Nicky Films is, let me introduce you. We have Nicky Films here. He's produced and shot for P. Diddy. He's produced and shot for Kanye West, Rick Ross. I mean, and we're just talking about like the last 3 days. So let's literally, I'll let you jump into this. He's the author of thecloudbook.com. If you want to check out and support his work and real artists and see what real artists all about, go to thecloudbook.com. You got to check out the book. I just bought a copy today.
Hell yeah, you did.
Paid $11 in California state tax. It was worth every penny.
Big supporter. I love him.
Oh, brother, we got to do it right. So, Nicky, for those of you who don't know you, maybe give them a little story about you. Tell them a little bit about some of your favorite work and what you're all about.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I go by Nicky Films. It's kind of like my artist name. Before that, I went by Nick Brazinsky as a director. We did a lot of videos with Chief Keef, Little Herb, Little Dirk, King Louie, a lot of the drill movement in Chicago, a lot of the hip-hop rap movement, some of Lupe Fiasco, Chance the Rapper, different things of that nature. Around the time all that was happening in Chicago and evolving, and then I kind of moved my skills and talents into the advertising world, and I've worked with such Fortune 500 companies such as Apple, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Hennessy. The list really goes on, and I'm blessed and thankful enough just to be here. I'm really blessed and thankful to be here and enjoy my life the way that I do, because sometimes as an artist, it's like you have ups and downs in life, and some people might not make it. Some people might get there and be at the finish line and give up, or some people might deal with anxiety or depression and things of this nature. But really, it's like I had to fight through all those things and become the best person that I could be, to make the best art for the world, to share with the world, to heal the world, to make the world a better place, because I feel like as an artist and as human beings that we're all here, put on this planet, put on this spinning rock through the universe to make this place better. Because, all that hate, all the negativity, all the division, that shit is dead. You know what I'm saying? And, if the planet had its way, it would probably just extinct us already. But, it's given us some leeway. So let's be better human beings, y'all. Let's work together. I'm just here to inspire. God sent me here to disrupt things,
Well, here's the thing. When you're the disruptor, you're not going to be celebrated by the disrupted. So we both...
True enough.
We both deal with a lot of haters. We both have a lot of cool things going on. So here's the thing, though. You've got this incredible resume. You've basically worked with all the icons of hip-hop, from the golden age of hip-hop to 90s, 2000s to the modern age, now even the most biggest influencers in the industry. And you've done these incredible brand deals. I know you were just down in Art Basel working with Burger King.
Yes, sir.
Shooting a crazy commercial for them. And, I mean, there's no brand that has not been influenced by your work. I mean, in fact, you were saying that you've even made a ton of money of just people buying your filters off of you, right? Like your presets.
Sure.
People want their work to look like your work.
At some point, yes, it was a little fad, and I had sold a nice little amount of pre-pack filters, whatever you want to call it, toolbox, toolkit. Yeah, creative.
So let that be a testament to your influence on the industry, right? That you know, people want their work to look like yours. But here's the thing is that that's not what you want to be known for, right? Like we were talking upstairs and that's when I was like, you know, we got to get to the studio, get this interview going.
Of course.
Because you were, you know, you're telling me, and I relate to this,
Yep.
you know, coming from a place where, you know, we're both from Chicago,
Yep.
we're both from the city. We both, we're basically probably made fun of our entire lives for wanting to be creatives. And like my version of making it is when my mom stopped telling me to go get a degree as a backup. You know, at 16,
meaningful,
right? You know what it's like.
It's a major moment.
I knew I'd made it because I was making a couple hundred G's a year, you know, working in creative, working in advertising, and she was still being like, "Well, go get a degree as a backup." I'm like, "Backup for what? Like I'm killing it, you know."
No backup.
So as you know, as an artist, there is no backup, right? So for me, that was my I made it moment. Was when my mom stopped. I realized a year had gone by and she hadn't mentioned anything about going to college to get a backup.
Yeah.
So what was your kind of I made it moment with all these incredible accomplishments you've had? What was your moment?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've always been an artist ever since I was a young child. I used to draw a lot. I wanted to be a cartoonist. My grandmother, she was a seamstress. I was always around her creative energy. I was raised by women. I had a lot of feminine energy around me. A lot of the men in my life were either not there or they were working on cars or this or that, and they were very macho and masculine. I was more of like, I kind of tapped into my artistic side with drawing and illustrating, and it kind of, around the era that I was coming up, you know, I was really big into technology, and what year was that? I don't know, Super Nintendo, these things like that. Yeah. So it was like technology meeting art, and then the camera presented itself, and that was like my medium to basically say, hey, I'm going to take this. This is basically my vehicle into the world, and this is going to help me explore myself, explore the world around me, and to connect with the world. So once I had my camera, I mean, I wouldn't say that I had made it, but I was on my way to making it. And I would say that the moment that I had made it, really, realistically, the moment that I had made it is when I had got paid for my first shoot, basically. You know what I'm saying? It was a group of rappers called Rap Stars. It was off of like Archer and Harlem in Chicago on the South Side. It was 4 dudes in a loft. They had paid me like $200 to come shoot some photos for them for like an hour. And like at that point, like a big old light bulb went off in my head. Like I had been doing this shit just for fun for so many years and doing it to express myself and to connect with the world and others, like I had said. And then now I'm getting paid for it. I'm getting paid for something that I love to do. I felt kind of bad. Like this is what I love to do. Like I'm about to, you know, not that I'm pimping it out, but I felt bad. This is what I'm selling. I'm selling myself now. Yeah. And then I was like, well, hey, if you need this for $200, I'm sure someone else needs a shoot for $500. And then I build my brand up, and now you need a shoot for $1,000. And now the shoot is $2,000. And now if a brand wants the thing, it's $10,000 minimum. This, and that. And then you keep going on and so forth. And there's different levels to all creative endeavors and selling your artwork and what have you. Every day isn't a $10,000 day, obviously, or this day or that day. You know, you have to come in strides, and sometimes you have to do work for others that I wouldn't say is free, but you know, you're doing things to build your experience and to collaborate with others that's going to benefit you in the future. And a lot of artists, and I think a lot of people in general, just need to have an open mind, because especially with the world and how it's going right now, and especially with everything that's happening, you have to have imagination, and you have to have new outlets and new ways to make money, new ways to express yourself. You know, 9-to-5s might become a thing of the past. You never know. The way the future is moving so quickly, and with robots and automation and things like this, it's like you are never promised a future. As me, as an artist, I'm always promised a future, because I know that I'm always going to create till the day that I die. That's why I said I was going to call my film that I'm coming out with a film in summer 2020.
Yeah, tell us about your movie.
Called Film or Die, because there's not much for me other than expressing myself as an artist. Because if I didn't, I would die inside. I would probably die physically, definitely die mentally. You want to always do what's in your heart, and you always want to do what you want to do, you know? And that is the American dream, is to do what you want to do, how you want to do it, no holds barred, by any means necessary, you know? Try not to fucking hurt nobody in the process, but, you know, you should follow your heart, follow your dreams, do what you want to do, and see it through to fruition, because not a lot of people get that opportunity, and not a lot of people get that chance. And then they're on their deathbed thinking about what could have been or what they should have done. And it's like, you don't have to have that problem. Everything that you want is right now. Everything that you already have and want in life, you can get it right now. You just have to be grateful and thankful for what you have. Be humble. You know what I'm saying? You have to be humble first. Once you're thankful and grateful for the things you have, you can clear your mind and set a path and set a place and a tunnel to get there and to get to a new place of everything that you ever wanted and dreamed. But to get to that place, you have to be thankful for what you have now.
Absolutely. And you know, that's kind of my thing. Like I always say that the more grateful you are for what you have, the more God gives you to be grateful for. Yeah. So it's kind of like acknowledging what you have helps what you have grow. Yeah. If you're not grateful for what you have, why would the universe or God or whatever continue to give you more, you know? For those of you guys who are photographers, if you're in the film production business, if you're an influencer and you want to know how can you live your art, this is a man who does not work a side job. This is not a side hustle for him. He's working with the top names in entertainment.
My last job was there at the hot dog stand, and I got fired for feeding the birds. I got fired for feeding pigeons, old bread, when I was 17 years old.
I mean, how old are you now?
I'm old.
Okay, so he's older than 17, so he's been in the game for...
Hey, it's about 2 decades later. I'm still here, baby.
Listen, that makes 2 of us.
Hey, and I never gave up, because when you give up, that's when you really lost. So don't quit and don't give up.
So I know you got your movie coming out, Film or Die. Is that the right title there?
Yeah, Film or Die.
Film or Die.
Flip on skate or die, you know, because I'm an old school skate head, so you know.
So I know there's a lot of skaters, a lot of film people who follow me. So Film or Die, here's the thing. I know you're putting your story in Film or Die, but Vito Glazers After Dark, what I want to do, next 15 minutes, I want to dig in a little bit and tell me some of the stories that didn't make the movie, you know? Some of the private stuff for the grown-ups. So I know you guys are going for that PG-13 rating so you can make it to Sundance. But this is Vito Glazers After Dark. This is the Soho House in West Hollywood. Terrible things go down here when the lights go up. You know? So we're going to just hold it down out here. And then what I'd love to do is go through the questions and the last 15 minutes. I would love to do a 15-minute closeout where we just answer some questions from the audience.
Let's do that. That'd be fire.
So give us your questions, toughest, hardest questions. Remember, this is Vito Glazers After Dark. Ask us the most scandalous questions. Ask us the darkest questions that your heart desires, or ask us anything that is on your mind that would give you value and help you out. We definitely want to be there for you and support you. Thank you to the Soho House West Hollywood for giving us this amazing studio. And thank you for the Picantes, because, you know, they have, I'm going to have to give them a little plug. Soho House now does have Picante Hour every weeknight, Monday through Friday from 10:30 to 11:30 p.m. Picantes are half price. So get your membership card.
So come back.
Bring your friends. Buy Picantes. Support the game. We're drinking tequila. We're having a great time. You are in the house with the world-famous Nicky Films, whose resume is too long to list on here. Check out thecloutbook.com. I just bought my own copy today. Amazing visuals. Old school, Hollywood, Chicago, behind the scenes, from the eyes and the vision of Nicky Films. This is going to be a collector's item that you are going to want to cherish and pass on and have on your coffee table for generations. In fact, we should have one on the coffee table right here. Soho House is messing up.
Yeah, I know there's some over in the van, but the van's not here yet.
What we're going to do is we're going to actually hook up Soho House with a copy. We're going to throw it in their library. So I'll get that hooked up for you. So just to say thank you to the Soho House for setting us up with this studio.
Hell yeah.
We're going to be throwing some copies of Nicky Films' new books. But for those of you who are not Soho House members who won't have access to the book, go to thecloutbook.com. Get a copy today. Whatever it costs, it's worth every penny. You doing autograph copies at all? Any opportunity to?
Yeah, we did a release in Chicago, a release in Houston. We're going to do a release in L.A. In the next month, and we'll probably do another release on East Coast, New York. Cool. Maybe in the following months to come, possibly the summertime. So
there you go.
It's going to be an ongoing project. We're going to promote it and keep pushing it. You know, it's not going to sell itself overnight.
That's right.
It'll be a wave of marketing, yeah, for sure.
If you're going to be in L.A. and you want more information about where you can get an autograph copy of Nicky's book, go to thecloutbook.com and follow Nicky at Nicky Films on Instagram. As always, this is Vito Glazers, and you're on Vito Glazers After Dark. The premise of this podcast, of this show, is to talk about the things that you wouldn't normally talk about because, you know, you don't want to put that out there. So tell us a little bit about the film. Tell us some highlights from the film, but then I want to get down into the nitty-gritty of a couple of the stories that didn't make it to the film because they were just a little too gritty. So what's going on with Film or Die and your new film?
Film or Die, it's basically a documentary film. I would say it's mostly autobiographical. It's kind of, you know, it's about me and my story going from the gutter to glamour. I grew up in a trailer park, real similar to Eminem and 8 Mile, things of this nature. I still have a loving father, mother, family. They're divorced, what have you. I still have a great family. Other than that, but Film or Die is really kind of kind of a metaphor for my life. Like if I didn't film, if I didn't have my camera, if I didn't have a facilitator to show me how to live in life, like I probably would die. I most likely might die, you know. And I've had anxiety and depression, and most artists deal with certain problems like that, and people have been suicidal. So for me, it's like film or die, really, you know. And that's as you know, cut and dry as I could say, because it's all risk, all reward. With me, anyways, you know. I don't know anything else. I don't know any other skills or any other way to be. I only know me. I only know how I live. I only know how I create. I only know how I utilize my cameras and my computers. And I've been independently funding and sourcing my creations as well as other people's creations for almost 2 decades now. So to say film or die is basically just like to say whatever you love to do that. If it's not that, it's like give me liberty or give me death. So it's like, you know, you might be a fucking electrician, or you might put shingles on a roof, or you might work at Taco Bell or whatever. All noble trades, no disrespect to anybody hustling. This is a story for hustlers. This is how to get your hustle up. This is how to invest in your hustle and double up. Film or die, yeah, that's the title for me, but it might be something else for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It might be write or die. It might be teacher. You might be a teacher. You might be your mom. It might be mom or die. Mother is all you know, and you want to raise your child to the best of its ability, and it's like, I'm going to be a mom or nothing else. And that's who I am. I'm an artist and nothing else. I don't want to be anything. I didn't ask the universe for anything else. I didn't ask the Lord. I didn't ask no one for anything else. All I wanted to be is what I am now, and I'm so grateful and so thankful that I am an artist, and I am a photographer, videographer, a visual artist. I've got to share my work with the world, and now I just want to share my insight. I want to share my passion. I want to share motivation with the world, not to take pictures, not to be fucking making films and doing all this shit. No, to do what you love to do. You know what I'm saying? To get your dreams out. Because your dreams are different than my dreams, and my dreams are different than yours, then different than hers and his, and everyone else that's outside. So it's like, this isn't specifically like, oh, let's watch a movie about Nicky. This is like, let's watch a movie to inspire us to be better. Because he's trying to be better, and his whole life has only been working to be better than he was before.
At one specific craft, which is what makes you a master of what you're doing.
Yeah, I think to me is like, I'm one of the firm believers, like, to kind of invest it all into one thing. You know what I'm saying? That's just me.
Yep.
You know, I always wanted to be a cartoonist. I always want to do these things. I'm not fucking around drawing out here.
Yep.
No, I'm focused on the craft that the universe had given me. If you're a basketball player, maybe you're the best basketball player, and you put all your time into that. You're not playing ping pong. You're not playing Xbox. You're playing basketball. Because you're an athlete. You work for the NBA. You're getting your dreams out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, sometimes people have such a range of things they want to do, which is great, and it's cool. It's always great to have like hobbies. It's always great to be multifaceted. But if you want to be really fucking great at something, you have to really hone in and get tunnel vision on that one thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and sometimes it might not be your favorite thing. So I do, you know, I manage a lot of creatives, and I work alongside a lot of influencers and artists. And one thing that seems to be a common denominator amongst a lot of people in the creative industry is that the people who are most successful, sometimes, like myself included, we are great at the role that was picked for us. We didn't necessarily pick our role. So it's not like I was like, yeah, I want to just run a PR company, a talent agency. I thought I had specific goals and dreams, like to be on-camera talent, to produce certain kind of stuff. But if you want to make it, sometimes you can find that happy balance.
For sure.
I don't think there's anything wrong with being in an industry that you love, getting closer to your goal, making a lot of money along the way. And I think that's kind of what separates guys like us from like true quote-unquote struggling artists, because I don't think that they necessarily focus on the value that they're bringing to other people around them, and they're just so selfish in their artwork that they try to create something, but then nobody sees it.
Of course.
And then they never get it to build themselves up. So there is some level of dues that has to get paid, and sometimes it's not about the role you pick, but it's about the role that picks you. Would you think is that touched on at all in your film?
Of course, and I would feel like, you know, as an artist, we have to share our work with the world.
Right.
That's, you know, basically, you know, you really have to put forth something that's going to help change the world and help people understand, you know, that there's a bigger vision than that just what's at hand.
Right.
Like, there's always more to be done, and everything that we're doing is like really in the benefit of other people. And when you benefit other people, it benefits you. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
it's like when you reach out a hand, when you lend out a hand,
Yep.
when you make a new conversation, when you spark interest with a new person, a new brand, a new thing, a new idea, that's what's pushing the world forward. Not old thoughts of just, how the world used to be and playing back flashbacks. We got the flashbacks. It's locked down. We got memories for life. Let's make new memories. Let's build off the old memories. We don't have to forget the old memories.
Never.
We don't have to destroy them because memories are there. That's history. That's in the history books, baby. Good, bad, and otherwise. And I'm going to live that shit. I'm going to live it. Because I done had struggle coming up, and that's only what makes you better and makes you stronger.
Yep. Yeah, I'm definitely an advocate of that. So now I hate to put you on the hot seat, but you're on Vito Glazers After Dark at the Soho House in West Hollywood.
Of course, vibing.
We just talked a little bit about
talking deep shit.
We're just getting deep on the film here. So tell me your favorite story that's in the film that made it to the film. What's your favorite story that got captured in the film that you're super grateful that made it to camera, that you were there filming, somebody filmed it, you're talking about it, you're sharing it. What can your fans, what can the people watching us on Instagram Live, what can they be excited about? The story that you're most excited about sharing with them from Film or Doc.
I'm excited about sharing a lot of stories and my story and similar stories, but I think working around closely with Puff Daddy, with Diddy, and I think being around him and being signed to Bad Boy Records and getting a lot of good off-the-cuff footage of him, seeing how he works, seeing how he lives his life, because he's the #1 hustler, top hustler. That's why he's the best in the game, top of the game. It's for a reason. It's because he works that hard. Everyone that works for him, he gives them the jewels. He gives them the tools they need to facilitate their dreams. And I was one of those people, and I understood what it takes. And it takes a lot of fucking hard work, a lot of dedication, a lot of focus. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't want to give up their time. They don't want to give up their Netflix. They don't want to give up their weed. They don't want to give up their beer or whatever it is. They don't want to give it up because that's more important than their dream. But when you're working around someone like Diddy, he always said it's Diddy land. I'm sent here to inspire you. That's really what I'm sent here to inspire you. And when you see a person that has all these things and these houses and these accolades and these trophies, VMAs and these Lamborghinis and all this materialistic shit that really doesn't mean shit to anybody, to be honest. It don't mean shit to me. But it is a measure of success to others in the world. And when you see that and you understand what's possible, you understand that it's limitless. Because you must be fearless. Because once you're fearless and you don't fear anything, your imagination could be limitless. You can go and get what you want. And you can go and get what you want to achieve and what you deserve. When you're afraid and you don't want to leave the house, and when you're afraid and you don't want to talk to nobody, and I've been there before, I have social anxiety issues and all types of, weird tics and quirks about myself. But hey, you have to push through that shit. You have to get through that shit because we're talking about changing the world here.
I'm with you.
We're not talking about making art. We're not talking about making music.
No,
we're not talking about that. We're talking about making the world a better place than it is now. And the world right now isn't the greatest of places. I mean, it's still a beautiful place. We've had ups and downs. But if we all would come together and utilize our talents for the greater good of the earth, not of your country, not of your man, not of your woman, not of your sexual preference, not of the army that you claim, the Navy, the whatever, if we all come together as a people to be a better people and a better planet, this shit, fuck Web 3.0, man. Come on, man. We Web 10.0, dog.
You caught my attention.
Hey, we might start fuck around and start selling love around here. Real shit. Right? Love is in low supply. Yes. Everybody want to buy NFTs, but nobody wants to buy love. I might start selling love next, but love is a feeling and an emotion. And it's just one of those things that I make Film or Die. I make these books and this art to inspire others because I didn't come from anything. I didn't come from nothing. I had a mullet and a wife beater.
I knew you from the mullet days. From the mullet, then you had the braids.
Yeah, I had a mullet and a wife beater right on a little seesaw horse at Sears, getting photos with a fucked up ass grill. Shout out my mom, my mom's a hustler. She taught me how to hustle and make money. I mean, she just a nonstop work. She nonstop workhorse, and she thankfully got me braces, so I'm not out here with the Chris Brown teeth.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. I mean, I take care of myself enough, I guess, that I could be on camera.
Well, you got the right Crocs on, that's for sure.
Yeah. I got the
killer Crocs.
I got the frocks on.
Yep.
And all I'm here to do is inspire others, just like Diddy say, man. I'm here to inspire. I'm here to inspire. You're here to inspire. We're here to inspire.
That's what we do. We just, that's why we put ourselves on the internet.
Disruptive, and being disruptive is only just a natural part of Earth and of the world. It's like earthquakes happen,
Yes.
changes happen,
Yeah.
sea tide, it rises, it lowers, political adversaries become neglected and elected.
Mhm.
And with that being said, it's like, you know, don't be afraid to be who you are. Don't be afraid to say what you are. Don't be afraid to say what you believe in. Be disruptive. Be you. Be the person that you want to be. Don't be hiding behind a screen. Don't be hiding behind your phone or a mask or anything like that. Be you. Live your truth, and that's all you can do in this life, bro. Because once you start living your truth, the world will become a better place. Don't be Don't be a hateful person. Don't abuse people. Say what you want to say within the bounds of saying what you want to say, and the world's going to be a better place. Because right now everyone's so hush hush. Don't say what you want to say. Well, guess what? I say what I want to say.
Absolutely. Well, that's why a lot we have in common is we're very
Most people need to say what they want to say.
Yeah, and then but then they go on and they get angry with the world because they have all these.
Some people live their whole life living a life that they did not create because they didn't want to stand up for themselves and say, hey, no, this is wrong. This is not right. This is not who I want to be with. This is not my partner. This is not my loved one. This is not this. No, but people want to be fearful. That's fine. You know, everyone's welcome to have their own voice and opinion, live how they want to be, but live fearless, be limitless. It's Nicky Films. I grew up in a fucking trailer park like 8 Mile. You know what I'm saying? My fucking father had a terrible drinking problem. He boxed with Muhammad Ali at his fucking training camp in Michigan for 30 days. My mother, she printed the Wheaties boxes out at General Mills. She had Michael Jordan come there, Larry Bird come there, USA Olympics. My mom prints the Wheaties and Cheerios boxes. And you know, my father works in the steel mill. Thankfully, he got an opportunity to live his dreams out a little bit. And I look at my life and I look at my family as most other people do and compare and contrast themselves. But guess what? You are not them. You are not built from that. You might be part of these people's family, but you are individualistic. You are your own person. So, hey, what is your dream? What do you want to do? And do that. I'm not going to think my dad was in the steel mill. I'm going to be in the steel mill. Right. Oh, my mom made Wheaties boxes and made Cheerios, so I'm going to work for General Mills and be in the factory. I said, you know what? I want to be a fucking artist and do what I want to do and make money just like Grams, working in the sewing machine. Yeah. And that's what I did. And it's like, you don't need to have an inspiration right there at home. You got an inspiration right here and on the internet and all these other channels and shows and what may have you.
This is Vito Glazers After Dark, bro. This isn't Vito Glazers Sunday church service. This is After Dark. This is the raw. This is the stories that didn't make it to the film.
Straight up.
You got to give me one story.
Yeah.
For the people here. Yeah. They tuned in. They sat through your story. So tell me, what is the story that you have that you never have told anybody, didn't make your film, that you want to share with our audience today? Tell me a little bit about what you got going on.
I would say one story that I have not told nobody that, you know, I keep pretty close on my chest because, like, I'm not much, I don't have, you know, much of a braggadocious type of attitude.
You're a humble kid. You're a great guy. You're a beautiful artist.
You know, I don't really particularly classify myself as doing much criminal activity other than me just being me and doing whatever the fuck I want to do. But I do have a story where I was in Stockholm, Sweden for the Gumball 3000 race rally, which is a racing rally where millionaires, billionaires, people of class, high society come together to race their cars from checkpoint to checkpoint through 7 different countries in 7 days with Ferraris, Maybachs, McLarens, whatever. The list goes on.
What's the coolest car you ever seen at Gumball 3000? You've done it like, what, 3 or 4 of these?
The Batmobile.
The legit Batmobile.
The Batmobile.
The actual Batmobile.
From Dark Knight.
Which one's Dark Knight?
Team Gallic built it.
The newest one. You're talking Christian Bale Batmobile?
Yes.
Christian Bale Batmobile.
The big fat wheels. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they rebuilt it.
They had the real deal there.
Yeah, and they lost the keys to it on the last day.
Get out of here.
That's a whole other story.
All right.
They lost the keys to the Batmobile.
How did the Batmobile?
That was one of the ending of our documentary that we did out there. We did a documentary there for Amazon. Amazon on Fire. It was when they had the Fire Stick with Amazon, and it was, I think, prior to Amazon Prime-ish kind of era. But anyways,
oh, fuck, now I got to know how.
They lost the keys to the Batmobile.
Yeah. What country?
And they never found them.
What country?
In Budapest.
In Budapest, so you lost the keys
in the town square.
Get out of here! Somebody probably had it stolen.
And then, like, the fucking Batmobile was built on like an Audi chassis, so they had to go to like the Audi dealer, get a new key.
They got a new key.
Yeah, because it was just frivolous external mods. You know.
Oh my god!
But it was really like an Audi R8 or something with like a Batmobile mod. But Those guys got the money for it. Fuck
Okay,
it,
whatever.
They know what's up.
Okay, so I had to interrupt you and find out the coolest car. So the Batmobile.
Yeah, so basically, Gumball 3000. It's you know, it's a brand. It's a lifestyle. It's a group. It's a group of people. It's a job. It's a time and place, an event. It's multiple things. So basically, we were racing through all these different countries, and Stockholm, Sweden. It was one of the first countries of, I think, the second rally that I had went on. And before the rally even had started and everybody was getting into town, we all went out to party. And I had the camera out, of course, as I usually do. I'm a photographer, and I like to keep it with me. Because if you don't have memories, you don't have anything. Right. You know? So keep your memories safe to you know, because...
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what... when people start dying and shit, you know, that's what you look at. No disrespect and no morbidity. So... I had the camera out filming, you know, the great, beautiful women of Stockholm, Sweden. And the people at the bar said, no more camera, no camera, no camera. And I was like, well, you guys don't really work here. You guys are just like haters. You guys are just like local, like, you know, fucking whoever's. And these women, they're feeling us. We're Americans. We got the camera. What's up? We can't do that. So we film them. Everything is consensual. And then basically one of the guys takes me outside, security guard. I told you not to film. Grabs me outside. Puts me into like this little corner where I'm like, okay, like what's up, bro? What's happening? Because I'm from Chicago. I'm on go mode. Don't get me on go mode. Then he just punches me, basically strikes me as hard as he can in my rib in a corner where I can't see him from behind, and fractures my rib. So at that point, he fractured my rib, and it was hard for me to breathe. As of course, when you fracture a rib, it's very hard to breathe. There's no surgery. There's nothing like that. You got to just let that rib heal. So at that point, I had felt like massive wind loss, and I was like, no, this isn't going down like that. Film or die, like I say. I'll die for my camera. I have my camera. You're basically impeding on my creative process. So now I have to die for this shit, and now we're going to go to head for this shit. So bet, let's get it in. Now you broke my fucking rib. You have my camera. It's cost $20,000. It's on the floor in Sweden, in a country I've never been to, between my legs. Cool, bet, trying to figure out the next play. Someone else grabs me, which I thought was the security guard, because obviously the security is trying to get me to evacuate the area. Someone else grabs me, pulls me out to the front of the building, which looks like Harry Potter's house. I mean, not Harry Potter. You know, it looks like a set off of a Disney thing. You know, there's cobblestone roads, Ichabod Crane, a fucking headless horseman. All the street lamps are oil. The street is made from the finest, sweetest cobblestone. So you got us out there and
Swiss
fucking
chocolate just flying through the
you got
air.
us in front of Willy Wonka, Alice in Wonderland's fucking make believe house, and now I have to deal with you because you broke my fucking rib and threatened me with the camera, and now I feel some type of way because I'm really on the defensive. Right. So at that point, a lot of people were trying to get into the club. They were with the Gumball. You know, it's like a club. Everyone's trying to get in the club. You know, granted, it looked like a gingerbread house. Everyone's trying to get in the club.
Willy Wonka's club.
Well, now I feel like, well, you've broken my rib, and I'm fucking half passed out because I've been drinking all night, and I have jet lag, and I've just flown here 20 hours from America, and I can't use my camera, and I can't film your girls, and now you're fucking pissed about it, and now you broke my rib, and now you're trying to take me outside. Well, guess what? I don't like that. So I turned around, as any great Chicago Southsider would do, and I defended myself, and I fucking hit him in his face as hard as I could. I hit him so hard, I broke his nose. Blood literally splattered across the fucking cement into the fucking the line. People are like, oh my good, that's Nicky. What's wrong with him, man? He's acting crazy. This is that. They didn't know that my fucking lung, I damn near almost punctured a lung because you fractured my fucking rib. You put my camera at risk, which is my livelihood. So now if you want to play with my livelihood, that's how I make money. That's how I pay my rent, my car payment. That's how I provide for my family. So now you're fucking with me out here in Sweden, and I'm from Chicago, and we ain't going for none of that shit. I don't work with Chief Keef, Little Dirk, I've been literally shot at a drive-by off 87th and Essex at a Sly Polaroid Little Herb shoot. Alan Awesome, we were at 87th and Essex. I didn't got shot at, and I had to duck behind a Porsche. So with that being said, like, I'm not going to let anyone just tell me where I can and what I can't do with my camera and where to put my fucking shit and where not to do. And that has to be partially being an American. And I'm a fearless American. It's one of the greatest things you can be in this life.
Right. So you punched the security guard. What happened next?
So I punched the fucking security guard. His fucking blood, his shit turned, into the Exorcism 3. It was like Friday the 13th. I said, wow, now I'm really in trouble because I really hurt this man because I'm defending myself. And I'm basically in Sweden, in a dark cobblestone street with Ichabod Crane oil lights down the way. So as soon as I hit him in the face, I'm like, okay, I look left, look right. All I see is like bricks into the darkness. Bricks. in the darkness. I hear horse hoofs. I hear horse hoofs coming through the darkness.
Yes.
I look off. All I see is a Swedish countryside, and I'm thinking, where the fuck am I gonna run? Because if I'm in Chicago, if I'm in Humboldt Park, if I'm in Wicker Park, I'm in I don't know the
your spots. Yeah.
I'm gone.
Yep.
I'm in the middle of nowhere in a country that I never fucking been to, and there's nowhere that I could see and no discernible way for me to go and escape this situation.
It sounds like a nightmare.
So I'm like, holy fuck, I just destroyed this guy's face. I don't know who he is. I don't care. And then I had like 6 police officers come up to me. Of course, they don't have guns. They don't have fucking anything because it's like, it's like a different world over there, basically,
Yep.
So basically, they have badges on their arms, and they're wearing like Ralph Lauren polos with like a little stick. They have no guns or nothing, so I didn't know who the fuck they were. But then at that point, I was like, "Oh, these are the police," and they're like, "Sit down, sir, before we hurt you." And I'm just like, I don't know where I'm gonna run.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
It's my first night in town.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I even had a hotel room.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I had anyone to run to. I don't even know if I had anyone to call.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I even had my phone or it was charged. I just knew I was with the homies filming a bunch of beautiful Swedish women, and now my rib is fractured, and I'm dealing with the police, and I feel very threatened, and I must get my way out of this.
Holy cow. So how does this escalate? Because
I know we're short on time, so I'm just like, yo, you got to understand, being alone in the middle of nowhere in a foreign country, and you see nothing but darkness and candlelights, and a bunch of people telling you to stop. So I had sat down on the curb. I got beat up by about 6 police officers.
No, they actually hit you.
Yeah, they beat me up. They punched me in the face, they kicked me, did all this shit. It's like,
you're kidding me.
Nothing like. I wouldn't say nothing too violent,
You didn't go full Rodney King on you or what?
No, as far as Chicago shit goes, y'all were fucking with me.
That was a traffic traffic stop, huh?
I was keeping my head up.
Okay.
I'm good. Just, whatever you guys got to do, let's get to it. So they put me in the car, and at this point, I was pretty turned. So I'm thinking this shit is over. Yeah. We get there, I'm still talking shit to everybody. Yeah. You can't do this to me. They took me, they put me in front of the lineup. I thought it was a joke.
Oh, no, really?
It was a joke the whole time.
Yeah.
So I took my mugshot, which I still have never seen. If anyone could find it, Nicholas Brazinsky, Sweden, Stockholm, Sweden.
Sweden.
Yeah, big old Maine, big house, whatever you want to call it. It was around 2000, I think, 17, 18. And I still can't find my mugshot. They took my mugshot. They put me in like a cell, isolated cell, and I was in that cell for about 2 days, just watching the sun go by.
You're kidding me.
Through this little window I had.
What about a phone call? You didn't get a lawyer or anything?
I didn't get a phone call, no lawyer, because that's American shit. So once you get out of the country,
get out of here.
You're captured abroad. No phone call, no lawyer. This is your time. This is what you have to serve, and there's no one to argue with. So they had put me in there. They put me on one of them gym mats that you wrestle on. One of them gym mats that you might go out of bounds basketball.
Oh, no.
Yeah, 1-inch gym mat.
Yeah.
So I'm sleeping on that, pissing and shitting into like a little hole. It was like a little hole, that goes into like the sewer system. And then they were giving me potatoes and water every day.
How do they make the potatoes?
It's gross. It's like watery, It's like watery with no flavoring. It's like eating insulation. So I was eating my water and my potatoes like a good prisoner for like 3 days, and then I was just like was so upset. And I had thought about my whole life, I thought about my first love, my last love, my mother, my father. I thought about everything as I watched the sun go by past the earth a couple of rotations, and I was so distraught, and I was so upset because I don't speak Swedish. I can't speak to them. I speak English. They don't speak the same language. I had a phone that the gumball had gave me, which the satellite on the phone just showed me as a dot, and I was like out in prison, and everyone was at the Four Seasons. Everyone's at the Four Seasons, and I'm like the dot that's at the prison. And then so I was just like,
what happened? They just left you there, and nobody came for you?
No, they didn't come there. They were just like, yo, something's wrong with Nicky. Like everyone knew that something was wrong with me. So then I had talked to the girl, and I had used my seductive charms, my masculine charms. I got curls. It's prettier than Sarah Jessica Parker. I said, listen, sweetheart, can I please get the phone? No phone call, no phone call. I said, I don't need a phone call. A phone call is old school. That's that's Al Capone. Can you just give me the phone that you guys confiscated? I could just text someone. Just real quick. I just want to send a text. Okay, no harm, no foul. Text.
She gave you the phone.
She gave me the phone. So I just texted the group text to everyone. Help me. All caps. Help me.
Oh man.
And then the next day, I started getting phone calls. I started getting people hitting me up. Well, not hitting me up, but hitting the office up. At that point, they thought I was a blatant criminal. They were like, "Yo, you're a real criminal. You're like, you know, in I don't know, Chicago, Illinois, in America. I don't know, punching someone in the face, fucking them up. That's not.
That's a misdemeanor. Kanye West just punched some guy at Soho House this morning.
Not too much to deal with." But I said, well, I'm such a problem. Well, who is a criminal? They said, "You're number 2 criminal in Sweden." I said, "Who's number 1?" They said,
"Get out of here."
They said they stabbed somebody. I said, "Oh, they stabbed someone. Great." So I punched someone and broke their nose. So now I'm the second. You know, but the person that I punched was a government official. It wasn't a security guard. I didn't know this at this point. It was one of the security. It was one of the police boys. Yeah. So with that being said, it was just like they had moved me into a nicer little cell with some little etchings on the wall. How many people have been there? They let me watch SpongeBob and Family Guy in Sweden. In Sweden, SpongeBob, Family Guy.
Torture.
Pretty torturous. They said I could rent out a PS1. They had like Crash Bandicoot, a couple of games I could rent, and I could hook it up to my TV from 1989.
Wow. But you were
this was a couple of years ago, mind you.
Yes.
So I'm playing PS1, watching Swedish Family Guy in a prison while I'm waiting for someone to get me. And long story short, basically the people that I had texted to help me, the Gumball people, they're very well off and they have very well connections, nice things of extravagance and money and things of this nature. And they had called the former prime minister of Sweden, and he had helped me get out.
Wow.
And he had helped me get out of that jam. I had to do a court date. My court date wasn't scheduled for 30 days. They did it in 3 days. So I jumped the line. I jumped the line. I did my court date in my tidy whities, Stockholm Swedish issued with the white little shirt on. So I had the whole little white. I'm feeling like a terrible human being. That I'm not meaning anything to anybody. I described to the judge and the jury about my plea of self-defense. And they basically said, if you come back after you have to do my work, which I had to film Gumball for 10 days, to come back in 30 days to serve your sentence, you should be good. So I said, cool. And we took off.
This is a crazy story, and this is Vito Glazers After Dark, where we're telling the stories that don't make the final cut. So we're talking behind the scenes for the real fans. So where do you go from here? You get sent. Did you do all 30 days in prison?
Hell no. We only did about 3 days.
Okay, so talk to me. How did you get this sentence down in 3 days?
Once I finally finessed the guard to give me the phone, which I could text help me to everybody like I was on Gilligan's Island. People really started working for me.
That's cool.
Thankfully, they started working for me, and they started.
So, we got to get our boy out of jail.
They're like doing some research. Nick hasn't been home in 3 days. Gumball 3000. We're leaving for Oslo, Norway tomorrow. We can't leave Nick because he's a videographer. He's also a pretty cool human being.
That's good.
And he also is being held against his will, more or less. Because a person, a dark figure, basically came and assaulted me, and I assaulted them back. Little did I know that was a police officer. Whatever. I hit harder, but I'm from Chicago, so I don't. Whatever.
We don't play that.
All that shit aside, but with that being said,
so who got you out? How did you end up getting out of this?
So then I finally hit the team up. They had got the former prime minister of Sweden, to call the new prime minister, to call the jail, to say, hey, this person that you got down there, you need to let him out. And at that point, they were like, who is this guy? I had dreadlocks. I had blonde dreadlocks like Lil Wayne, like Bob Marley. And they were growing for 8 years. They were legit. They weren't fake. They weren't extensions. They grew under my ass. I really lived that Rastafarian lifestyle. And they were like, who is this guy that's in our jail cell? He's like, this ain't a Swedish person. This is American. This is like a real rock star. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even at that level yet. So they're like, whoever this fucking guy is, he's somebody. So now my trial jumped from 30 days to 3 days. I went to my trial in my underwear, in my fucking white underwear, white tee that they issued me. Government issued lawyer, young guy. And basically I had told the judge everything that happened. I had told him how I felt, and basically everything I told you guys as far as like, I didn't know that the guy was like a police officer. Maybe if he had a badge, or maybe if he had said I'm the police or had a gun, I would never hit a police officer. That's the last thing I want to do. But when you come up to me and you're very forceful and you're looking like a security guard, and we're in Sweden and it's looking like 1930s Ireland, I don't know, dog. No disrespect. But like, I'm fending for myself right now, and it leads to one thing, leads to another. I tell him that story. He basically tells me, hey, I'm understanding it. I get it. You got to go to work and finish filming. Well, you still have to pay your debt to this Stockholm's, whatever, Swedish society, I guess, whatever they want to say. They said, so we'll give you a 2 weeks, 14-day leave as long as you come back and agree to fulfill your 30-day sentence.
Get out of here.
If you want to sign the paperwork. Lawyer looked at me crazy. I said, okay, cool. I want to get out because I need to go and
Yeah.
be with my friends and do my work and get
Yes.
it back to America. So I signed the paperwork.
Yeah.
I left. The lawyer, who is a fucking great lawyer, he's hardly lost any cases, a new young lawyer, he said, you know, based on what you've done and based on what they've given me and all your
Yeah.
testimony, that you should be in no way outside of the prison at this time.
Uh-huh.
They made a mistake, or
Yeah.
you must know somebody or something.
yeah.
I said, you know, I don't know what's going on,
Yeah.
but thankful for letting me out.
Yeah.
I had got out. I had told my boy, you know, hit him on the collect whatever the call was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, I'm out here. I need to get picked up from jail. I've been stinging for 3 days. My man, he's a very ladies' man, you know, very gentleman.
Okay.
Says, hey, I'm going to send some girls to come pick you up. We already left the country. We already left Stockholm. We're in Oslo, Norway. I said, well, that's cool. That's the next stop. I'll meet you guys there. Let me just go to the hotel, grab my things. So at that point, the lawyer said, wow, well, you know, I don't want to advise you, but if you want to leave and never come back to Stockholm, that would be great because then you won't be arrested. And I said, well, I don't plan on coming back, so I'm leaving. And then at that point, the ride that my buddy had arranged for me pulled up. It was 2 Swedish women, blonde hair, blue eyes, in a white convertible Mercedes. And they asked for Nicholas, and I said, that's me. And I jumped in, and we had taken off. And the rest is history.
No.
And the lawyer's still sitting there wondering what the fuck is really going on.
Yeah.
And I never went back to Sweden ever since.
So.
And that was the same place that Snoop Dogg got arrested.
Yeah.
The same place ASAP
Yep.
got arrested.
Yep.
Was the same place I got arrested. And the
was up with
fucked up thing is
Yep.
that they had to do their time.
Yep.
And they had to sit there and deal with
Yes.
them people.
Yep.
And all I did was finesse the little chick that, you know, Goldilocks. Come on, man.
Yep.
I look like Dog the Bounty Hunter. Yeah, I'm a big Hulk Hogan. I'm Hulkmania. I said, come here, sweetheart. I look like Michael Phelps swimming in this ocean.
There you go.
He gave me the phone. I said, hey, help me.
That's right.
And what I texted them, it was a lot more beneficial than whatever Snoop did. I don't know what Snoop did.
Apparently, Snoop's
I
not
don't know if
texting
he hit I don't know if he hit his plug up.
Yeah.
I don't know if ASAP. They might have hit the record label up.
Yep.
Yeah, we hit the prime minister up.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the type of money we're talking about.
Yep.
And I'm not saying I have that type of money.
Right.
I'm just around that type of money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you don't have to have all these things in life to be to live that life.
No, absolutely.
I don't have to own a Tesla to ride around talking on the phone with no one driving a Tesla when it's Vito Glazers' Tesla.
Well, we were just.
You understand what I'm saying?
You gotta have the LA car. You know what I mean? You gotta shout out Elon Musk. I just support his work. That's an incredible story.
Yeah.
So you basically get arrested in Switzerland. Your boy, you text the Gumball crew. The Gumball.
Stockholm, Sweden.
You get arrested in Stockholm,
I
Sweden.
would like to go to Switzerland though,
Yeah.
and I would like to not get arrested there.
Well, yeah, just like don't steal.
Stockholm
any
is cool
watches.
though. It's a lot of people that look like me, white,
Yeah.
blonde hair, blue
I was
eyes.
gonna say maybe that's what they thought that maybe you were local. I would have guessed you could have been from Sweden.
They were waiting for the next big serial killer. I
That's
said, I'm
right.
not it, man. I'm just
That's
an
not
artist,
it.
and I just got
No.
caught up in some Chi-Town drama.
Well, in Chi-Town, you're definitely getting beat by the cops, so it definitely left you a little
Yeah,
bit.
I mean, in Chicago, you can punch people in the face,
Yep.
stab people. You can do a lot of things. I'm not advocating for anything.
No,
but
no,
you can
no.
do a lot of things in Chicago and go home at night and get away with the thing.
Yes,
and that's
yes.
kind of how I was feeling about
Yes,
the thing. But then I
yes.
was like, I'm actually not home,
Yeah.
and I shouldn't be assaulting people.
Right.
And I felt bad that I had to actually feel that way,
Yes.
you know. But hey, when I'm doing my job, I don't know nothing but else my job.
Listen, brother. Is there anything you want to say to the people of Stockholm?
Man, please send me my fucking mugshot. We love you because you're a peaceful,
Yeah,
you're
they're a great
peaceful
country.
place.
Yeah.
You guys did get the whole herd
immunity
you
down.
got the whole herd
You
immunity
got that
thing
right.
down.
You definitely got that right.
You guys got some pretty fucking places out there, and I would love to go back. I think I could go back maybe within maybe a decade. I don't know. Anytime soon, they might put me on a reg list.
Well, you said you were the second biggest criminal. And
I got to serve my 30 days and play Crash Bandicoot on a PS1.
That might be a meditation anyway.
2021.
If the food wasn't bad, that doesn't even sound like a horrible
I
time.
wish the food was good. The food was non-food.
Yeah. Well, the food's bad anyway in Sweden, isn't
The
it?
food was Sweden.
They say English can't have bland food. The Swedish have bland food. French can't make a car.
Meatballs. That's like IKEA.
Oh, it's like
shit.
IKEA.
Yeah, so when they put me in the jail cell, it was like IKEA furniture. It really was.
Did you have to build your own jail
No,
cell?
I didn't, but they put me in that bitch, and that bitch was like, people had been there, like cross-marking lines.
Oh, no.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh, they counting the
5.
days, huh?
And I was like, bro, I'm not doing that.
No,
you know
not
why I'm
for
not
that.
doing that? Because I'm a fucking beautiful human being.
Right.
I'm a great artist.
Yes.
I'm an American.
That's
I'm
right.
a person that demands respect, freedom, unadulterated love and respect, because that's what I want to give to the world.
Yes.
So when we got that whole little thing situated in Sweden, it was a mistake, because it really was a mistake. I wasn't let me be violent in Sweden and assault people. Yeah. No, I felt like, okay, well, first of all, you did fracture my rib, because I have the x-rays to prove it. Yeah. So at that point, I felt like my camera was in jeopardy, my only livelihood. So yes, I'm gonna fight back, but it's like,
well, this story has
and then it's like, and then I got back, and then it was like, after that, the first stop we had flown to was Reno. It was Reno, Nevada. Reno, Nevada. So we had did a whole European tour: Budapest, Bucharest, Spain, Stockholm, Norway, all these places. Then we ended up in Nevada, so we could go Nevada to LA to fucking Vegas was the finale. So so when we had landed in Reno, it was a whole bunch of Hell's Angels, a whole bunch of hot dog vendors, 67 classic Camaros and Impalas. Tommy Lee was there. You know what I'm saying? Steve Harvey. All types of shit where it was so American. When I had got off the plane and I had finally touched my freedom, which really is my freedom, because I did not feel free until that point. Right. I had got locked up in Sweden. Right. And I was out of the country for 2 weeks. Yes. Afraid. Yeah. Afraid for anything. Right. And then so when I finally got back to America and I was on that fucking runway and I stepped off the plane onto the flat, it's not no fucking goddamn hangar or whatever. It's not commercial. We're flying Maybachs in, so we step out onto the tarmac, and as soon as I stepped off like it was a movie onto them stairs off the plane, I said, I love America so much, and I had a new gratification for America, respect for America. I cried, and I was so appreciative. And then I seen old 90-year-old women running around in Miss America pageant outfits, and their husband riding fucking Harleys and shit. And I said, you know what? America ain't perfect, but it is what it is, and it's ours, and it's beautiful, and we're going to own it and claim it, because there's not anywhere else in the world that's like this. Amen. And I cried, and I appreciated my life, and I've never been back to Sweden again, and I've been around the world, and I respect I respect authority for the most part, and I respect myself and others, and I would never fight with nobody. I think that might have been the last fight that I actually got into.
That's good, man.
And it wasn't really a fight. Yeah. It was like a one punch, because you fucked me up and I'm fucking you up, and now it's a whole issue because we're not from where I'm from, and now it's a cultural difference.
Right.
So not to say that makes it any better, but you know.
I'm with you, brother. Well, do you want to apologize to the guy, or does he oe you an apology? How's it go?
I mean, I would apologize to him because I didn't expect him.
I
wouldn't expect him to come and hurt me.
Yeah.
Because someone else had already hurt me. It was the security there that had broke my rib. They put me in a corner. Yeah. They put my camera down. So now you're throwing me off because I'm thinking your security buddy's coming. It was the police. Now, if it was the police and you said address myself, it's the police. Yeah. I mind the police.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not for the police or against the police. I just know that the police is a natural necessity
they got a tough job.
Civilization. And it is a tough-ass fucking job. I would never want to be a police officer. God bless their soul. Yeah. So with that being said, like, you could have just addressed yourself and I would have got to it. And I would have just played my role as far as, like, a citizen that's compliant. But when I got a bunch of people around me in black polos and no guns drawn and nothing happening, and you guys look like you're like 5 years younger than me.
Yep.
You guys got the Acme treatment, and you guys need to get a new bronze shaver. you guys looking young, man.
So shout out to the police in Stockholm, Sweden. You guys gotta get some varsity players on there so we know that you're actually the police. Announce yourselves.
Get a badge,
Anyways, we hope you guys have enjoyed a little story time here. This is Vito Glazers After Dark, the untold stories of Hollywood. You're in the house with the world famous.
Only more stories to come.
Only more stories to come. If you actually enjoy that story and you want to see the whole behind the scenes on how he's worked with Diddy, Bad Boy Records, Kanye West, Rick Ross, A$AP Rocky, all your favorites from your playlist and where he's going from here, you can see this. You can see the visuals from that. Check out them all. Check out thecloutbook.com. You can see this amazing book. Follow Nicky Films on Instagram if you want to learn more about his live events coming up in LA, Miami, Houston, Chicago, everywhere. This guy's all over the world. And make sure that you tune in to the film or Die. It's coming to the Sundance Music Festival this summer, 2022. It's a classic before it's even hit. Just like all the Nicky Films.
Inspire people. You know what I'm saying? Like others have inspired me. I'm going to inspire others. You know.
So you got a minute left. Give some inspiration to the listeners sat through the story who appreciate us for what we're doing. Give them 1 minute of inspiration. You got a minute on the clock to inspire the people.
Yeah, I feel like Steve Kerr in the buzzer beater right now, man.
Yep.
It's like I'm a Chicago bully, and I would just say, like, live your passion, live your truth. A lot of people, they do things that they don't necessarily want to do, or they do things that they don't necessarily mean to do or have to do. And I would just say, like, love yourself first, love the world around you, and then take it by storm, because we all have our own story. We all have our own footprint to put on this bitch, and nobody is greater than nobody else. And we're all the same. And the same way that I treat celebrities and shoot celebrities is the same way that I treat you and shoot you when you book with me, because humans are humans to me, and it's a beautiful thing. So you can be either a piece of shit human or a great human. Just like half of celebrities I met, they're pieces of shit. I won't tell you who. And the other half are beautiful human beings, and I love them to death. And it doesn't make anyone greater or positive, negative, or anything like that. We're all here on this rock together, and we got to figure it out. And with that being said, we all really need to follow our hearts. And once we follow our hearts, I think the universe is going to put us in the great path, the great way, that, you know, it's gonna benefit for us. Or you want to call it God, universe, whatever it may be that you call it. You know, you have to manifest your future, and you have to go and get your future, because, you know, talking doesn't work. Working works. So keep working.
Keep working, and you're working. You're rocking with us. Nicky Films in the house, Chicago's best videographer of all time. And this has been the inaugural first episode of Vito Glazers After Dark. Thank you to the Soho House for the amazing studio. We'll catch you guys next episode. Well, thank you to everybody for tuning in to tonight's episode of Vito Glazers After Dark, live from the Soho House in West Hollywood, California. And if you enjoyed tonight's episode and you'd like to know how you can support the podcast, I invite you to check out one of our affiliate partners, TriCarat. TriCarat is a black card for influencers with amazing rewards. It's a charge card based on your social influence. So actually, how many followers you have has a lot to do with how much money you get approved for on your credit line. So if you're a social media influencer or you're an entrepreneur and you're looking for another great credit line with amazing rewards, I highly suggest you check out influencerblackcard.com. That's influencerblackcard.com. I signed up for free and I got approved for $15,000 monthly limit. So find out today by applying at influencerblackcard.com. See how much you actually get approved for. I'd love to find out from you and hear your success stories. And the best part about this card is it actually opens up a whole community and a whole world of influencers for you. So again, if you enjoyed the podcast and you'd like to know how you can support us for no cost, please check out our affiliate partner, TriCarat, by visiting influencerblackcard.com. We'll see you on the next episode.